Dante considers retiring as a cop. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. General Hospital. Joss and Trina finish up some height training in the park. Trina says her heart is about to burst out of her chest, so she's glad she's with a doctor-to-be. Joss admits she's not sure she's going to become a doctor anymore and is thinking about switching her major. Trina asks what brought this on. Joss says Adam's problems gave her a glimpse into her future and how exhausting it will be. Trina knows how hard becoming a doctor is because of her mom, but she always said it was worth it. Joss has to figure out what she wants to major in, and Trina gets it. Trina also has to figure out what she's going to do about school, which is why she's shocked because Joss was always so on track. She asks what changed. Suddenly, Dex jogs by with the rest of the PCPD recruits. Trina realizes this has something to do with Dex. Joss recalls when Dex got hurt by the hook, and she had to stitch him up, which made her realize she wanted to help people. Trina thinks by people Joss means Dex. Joss insists she wasn't getting into medicine for Dex, and she's not getting out of it because of him. She feels she shouldn't take a spot in medical school from someone who really wants to be there, so she should figure out what she wants to do that could bring good into the world. Trina says she'll be by her side, helping her figure things out, but she knows Joss is still in love with Dex. Trina asks why she can't admit it. At Alexa's place, she shows Christina and Sam the suits she's considering for her hearing to get their opinions. Suddenly, the baby kicks Christina. She is happy to share this moment with them, as this is the most profound experience of her life. She knows they both know how she feels. Sam has to go and says her goodbyes. Alexis asks Christina how she's really doing. Christina is well but is worried about TJ and Molly. Christina complains that TJ is on her about her sleep, her eating, and who she sees. She also feels there is tension between him and Molly. Alexis says a life-changing event, such as a baby, is bound to cause stress, but Christina still feels they are micromanaging her. Christina also feels like TJ and Molly see this baby as just another thing to check off of their list of things to do, and they are focusing on the wrong things and not falling in love with this baby as much as she is. Alexis asks Christina to be honest and if she's starting to think of this baby as more hers than her sister's. Nina and Drew arrive in a parking lot for the interview with Congressman McConkey. She wants to make sure he is aware this is happening due to her family's personal connection, and she doesn't want him to screw it up. Drew and Nina head into the congressman's office. Nina is glad to see him. He notes he's trusting Nina with his statement, but asks who the suit is. Nina introduces Drew as the head of Aurora. Nina explains Drew expressed an interest in coming along, but the congressman says he needs to make a separate appointment like everyone else. Drew blurts out that he has a project to talk to him about, but the congressman doesn't hand out favors to corporations. Drew explains this is for the people of Port Charles. Drew explains that the docks have been underutilized for years. He and Jordan are working to revitalize 2 piers to beautify Port Charles and create more public space. The congressman says it sounds good, but he can't help him. The congressman explains he has stage 4 lung cancer. He is going to finish out his term but then step down to be with his family. Nina expresses how sorry she is and how valuable he has been to Port Charles. The congressman wants Nina to release his statement about his plans. Drew suggests his term isn't over, and this renewed waterfront could be his legacy project. The congressman is intrigued, and Drew says it could be his farewell piece of legislation, and who would vote against it given his diagnosis. Nina apologizes for Drew's lack of tact, but the congressman isn't insulted. The congressman believes in public projects, but won't be around to see how Drew really uses this money, and asks Nina if he can trust Drew not to turn this into a real estate project. Nina says Drew is a decorated veteran, dedicated to Port Charles, and he can be tough but fair. The congressman says he'll need to see some figures and specs, but he'll do his best to put this through the House. They shake hands. Sonny stops by Dante's with a gift for him. He hands him a bag, and inside is a new pair of boxing gloves, as he noticed the other day that his old gloves are looking a bit rough. Dante thanks him, and Sonny says it's the least he can do as he's the only family member he can trust. Dante says he has lots of people on his side. Sonny says Diane represents Jason, and Nina signed the divorce papers, and she's finally out of his life. He rants about all the people he doesn't trust and how Carly hurts the most. Carly told him the other day to get out of her life after she took Jason's offer to buy back the hotel. He can't stay out of Carly's life as they have kids and grandkids, and he won't let her cut him out. Sonny says he's glad Dante has his back, as he'll always have his. Dante asks if something is going on. Sonny is concerned about Dex joining the PCPD. Carly stops by Sonny's place to see him. Ava explains he's out, so Carly barges in and says she'll wait until he returns. Ava tells Carly this is Sonny's house, so she can't come in here and order her around, as she's Sonny's guest. Carly says she will speak to her ex and the father of her children whenever she wants. Ava says she can leave a message for Sonny, but will probably be waiting a while for Sonny to call her back. Carly thinks Ava sounds defensive, and Ava counters that Carly sounds desperate. Sonny arrives and asks Carly why she's here and where Donna is. Carly wants to talk to Sonny alone, as she's not discussing Donna in front of Ava. Ava leaves to make a call, and Carly explains Donna is not coming here anymore. She says it's not good for Donna to be here with him. He yells that he won't be cut out of Donna's life, and he threatens to take her to court. She tells him to go for it as Donna doesn't deserve to be around his level of hate and anger. Sonny asks why she's turning his family against him, and it is because of Jason. Carly says he's making no sense, he's living in an alternate universe. Carly has a realization and rushes into his bathroom to search for his pills. He follows and asks what she's doing. She's making sure he's taken his meds. Carly pleads with him that he's not okay, and she's not judging him, but she needs to know if he's taking his meds. Ava comes out after hearing the screaming. Sonny says he wouldn't risk everything by not taking his meds and asks, "Do you think that little of me?" She wants him to have his blood level checked, and perhaps he needs his dosage adjusted. He tells her he doesn't need his dosage adjusted and throws her out. Sonny tells Ava that there is nothing wrong with him. Ava agrees and says Carly is being unreasonable. Sonny rants, Carly can go to hell. He walks into his room and Ava looks at the bottle of his pills. Sam arrives home and finds Dante having a beer on the terrace. She sees the gift Sonny gave him. She can tell something is going on, and Dante feels like he may have crossed a line with Sonny. He tells her that Sonny advised him to stay away from Dex, and worries he'll ask him to interfere with investigations next. Dante admits when he found out about Dex joining the academy, his first thought was how this could hurt his father, and that his father could be guilty of something. Sam knows he has never compromised himself for Sonny. Dante thought he could be a good son and a good cop, but he hasn't been a good cop. They both know what Sonny does, and it's his job to stop that. Sam says he's a good cop, and to give himself a break. Dante says the reality is he's gone easy on his father, and that's a conflict of interest. If he won't enforce the law, then he has no business being a cop.